Alright, so if you guys traveled up from Banff or Jasper today to the Columbia ice field, you would have climbed about 1,000 meters in elevation to where we are at right now. And because you gain and lose elevation so much in the Canadian Rockies, we actually have 3 different ecoregions based on how high you are above sea level. And that's just because the climate and the ecology changes so much as you travel further up into the mountains. So in our valley bottoms, in our mountain towns, that is the montane. That is anywhere from 1,000 to 1,600 meters in elevation. That is, of course, the warmest, driest of the ecoregions with the longest growing season and the longest summer. It has the most diversity of plants and animals, and some of the animals that live down there are things like elk, deer, moose, and bear. As you travel further up, we are now in the subalpine. This is anywhere from 1,600 meters to 2,200 meters above sea level. As you can tell, the ecology has changed quite a lot. We have lost all of our deciduous trees. We are left with only conifers and plants. We do still have some animals that live up here, however, like bighorn sheep, mountain goats, marmots, and pikas. Marmots are kind of like land beavers. Pikas are kind of like a mix between a mouse and a rabbit. They are very loud animals, but they are quite elusive. And me and pikas have something in common. We both really hate summer. So over the last decade, pikas have had to move further north and further up into the mountains because they can actually only survive in 25 plus degree weather for 3 hours or less. So pikas now live in the alpine, as the montane and subalpine are both too warm. And then our third ecoregion, as I just said, is the alpine. That is where the tree line ends to the tip top of the mountains. It is 50% snow and ice, and the rest is rocks. So it is home to our beautiful glaciers, but there is no food for animals to survive up there, so nothing lives in the alpine. Things will travel back and forth like bighorn sheep, mountain goats, and as I said, pikas, so that they can come down here and get food sources to survive, and then protect themselves up in the alpine. So today you are going to get to go out onto the alpine, because even though you go down a big hill onto the Athabasca, you are climbing 400 meters in elevation to where you will be standing out on the Athabasca at 2,200 meters. Alrighty, so we're coming up to your Ice Explorer here. I might not be in the driver back, so make sure you remember all of your things.
Before we get going though, just a quick safety briefing. Out the back we have our 2 emergency roof arches. We have 4 emergency windows, 2 on each side. This is our exit door here. Fire extinguisher and first aid kit is under here. And you may have noticed that every seat has a seat belt. Can everyone please buckle up?
Yeah.
You can get a little bit bumpy out there.
Enggak, labs. Enggak, video mana? Dito mga bre. Dito mga bre upuan. Hala, diangat na sila oh. Oh, angat na sila. Gadulhog agi.
Mura magkakrak.
Ingat sila doon. Oh. Padong na misaka. Padong na misaka dito.
You'll probably already notice we'll be going very fast today.
Fast? Oh my! Nato ang mga friends.
Everyone ready?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Hello! Oh, we're going up.
This section here is my favorite part of the tour because I get to drive on the correct side of the road, the left-hand side.
Oh.
I was thinking about how glacial ice is formed. It is formed through a process called fernification. Here in the Canadian run, 7 meters of snow each winter, but to make glacial ice we need 40 to 50 meters. This means the process can take 4 to 5 years, and once we have enough snow piled on top of each other, it will compress down and make glacial ice. Glacial ice is very dense. For reference, the ice in your freezer is made of 50% air, snow has 90% air, whilst glacial ice has 10% air. I know we may be called the Columbia Ice Field, but we won't be standing out there today. We'll be on the Athabasca Glacier and we'll be able to see the ice field above. I like to look at an ice field like a lake of ice, whilst the glacier is like a river of ice that extends off this ice field. For an ice field to be called an ice field, it needs to have at least 2 outlet glaciers. Our Columbia Ice Field has 6. These include Athabasca, Saskatchewan, Dome, Columbia, Castle Guard, and my personal favourite, Stuffield. If you're heading to Jasper today, just after our skywalk, you can turn in and park the car up, and there'll be a very nice view out at Stuffield Glacier. I highly recommend it. It is pretty impressive glacier. So the Columbia Icefield was formed 18,000 years ago in the Wisconsin Ice Age. It now covers an area of 165 square kilometers. It is about the same size as the city of Vancouver. If everyone looks straight ahead now, you'll see our ice explorers already out there on the ice. Where you'll be standing today, the ice will be 150 meters thick. Can everyone see those big steps? Yep, we call those ice falls. And that big snowy patch above those steps, that is the Columbia Ice Field. If everyone looks to the right hand side now, you'll notice a big rock mound. We call this our lateral moraine. Lateral meaning side, and moraine is a French word for a loose pile of rock and dirt. And as we get further along, we'll look across the valley. You'll see that other big dirt wall. So that is our other lateral moraine. What this shows us is how high and wide the Athabasca Glacier used to be. So it would come all the way up here and spread across the valley over there.
Oh my God.
Okay, we are just about to enter the steepest unpaved commercially used road in North America. This big hill has a grade of 32%. That is around what I got in my maths test. That's why I'm a bus driver now. So as we go down here, I won't be giving the tour as I do need to focus on my vehicle. But I'll continue the tour when we get down the bottom. We'll just have to wait up here for a little bit just to make sure this Ice Explorer gets down first. If you're sitting up the back today, you might lose sight out of the front windows, so we put windows on the roof for you all. Everyone ready?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Nakaw mo sila.
Kahadlo ka po ana ay.
Mabaw.
Oh my God, pila man ni ka-step. Line.
Alas gilid mo.
Lalong kayo.
Mabaw mo. Dilis na padungkit.
Lagi. Utang po siya. Puyo sa.
Ik zag ook mensen wandelen naar boven. Ja, precies. Dan ben je wel even in het midden.
Lagi. Saka gyud siya eh.
Mensen staan op het ijs.
Adventure juga engineer ba? Lagi. Tapi daagit siya anang step ayo gaangat gitunga sila ga. Dito mi ganiha abot na mi sa kuan. Ya mi. May mga tao na naglakaw ra.
10 graden kouder.
Di kaayo.
Beneden wordt.
Oh my God. Nanasay pasaka. Nagapadulhog pa mi. Babot na dito.
Dito ang panahon.
How's that, everyone?
Bruce!
Probably the slowest roller coaster ride you'll ever go on. It might not look like it, but we are now driving on the Athabasca Glacier. All this rock and dirt has fallen off the Glacier moraine to our left. It has rolled down here, and our operators have flattened it out so we can drive on it. The road is about 1 meter thick, and then underneath that is all glacial ice. We call this area the Icicle Moraine.
I see. Ano mo, puros ice. It's all ice.
You might notice that we are much higher than the exposed ice out to our right. That is because all this dirt acts as an insulating blanket for the ice underneath. It protects it from all the elements and therefore it melts at a much slower rate.
We zijn dus hoger dan dat, omdat het ijs hieronder langzamer smelten wordt en het steekt er ook. Mooi water hier. IJs smelt.
Nanay tubig. Wag kita sa tubig. No, mulutaw dyan mi ani ron.
This big puddle that we are driving through now is our tire wash.
Taiwan.
Our operators have dug this out so we can drive through it and clean our tires of all that dirt.
I see.
That is so we don't limit the albedo effect. You might be familiar with this on a hot sunny day. If you're wearing black, your clothes will attract the sun and heat up. Whilst if you're wearing white, it will reflect that sun. That is the same concept out here. We don't want to bring on too much dirt to accelerate the melting of this glacier.
I see.
If you look to the left hand side, you'll see dirt over the ice there. That is what we were just driving on.
Pwede ay purpose ko ay para dili mahugawan ang kuan, ang ice, para dili dili siya mo melt pag ayo. Grabe sa ice. Oh, mga siya ice na siya.
To our left-hand side, we have this cool waterfall. All that water is glacial meltwater from AA Glacier, which is behind the rocks. It is called AA because it is between Mount Andromeda to the right and Mount Athabasca to the left. Back in the day, they were both, Athabasca and AA were connected, but over the years they have both receded back, and now AA Glacier is its own independent glacier.
Grabihan ka ko. Kusog kayo ang tubig.
Just a couple of things while we are out on the glacier today. Can everyone please stay within the red boundary signs? Also, don't go behind the ice explorers, we won't be able to see you. There's a nice stream running out to the right hand side. I highly recommend everyone try that glacial water. It is nice and refreshing. We'll be leaving here at 1 o'clock, so if everyone can be back on the ice explorer by 1 o'clock. We are on 529 and there'll be a rabbit on the door. Feel free to come on and off as much as you like. You can leave your belongings on here as well. But we'll be leaving here at 1 o'clock, so please be on time. I don't want to leave anyone behind. I'll also be out there if you want to ask me any questions or want me to take your photos. I'll be happy to do so.
Natugnaw, di tayo